Hey everyone, David and David here from Payette.com and Upphone.com, and today we are being joined by Eva Amurri Martino of the lifestyle and motherhood blog Happily Eva After.
Hi Eva, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, hi guys. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited that we're finally doing this together. This is really fun for me. For those of you who watch David and David religiously but do not know me yet, I have a lifestyle motherhood blog I've had for 4+ years. It is definitely different from what the two of you do, but it crosses paths in such an amazing way because I think, now so much of my audience, a lot of which are moms. I'm a mom of a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and I'm pregnant with my 3rd child. So
Congrats.
I'm right in the mom life.
Yep.
I'm right in the thick of it. And I think a lot of people who follow my site and, my social media, they're starting to get more and more intrigued and excited by getting more educated in the tech space, especially because it does affect their lives daily. And so when I was introduced to the two of you, I just want to intro that really quickly because it was really cool. Like my battery was draining constantly on my phone. And one of my colleagues was saying to me, you should definitely see if there's certain things you can turn off on your phone. And I found this really great, super informative video. And you should watch it and do some of the tips. So I watched it. It was your video, and it was so easy to follow, and it was so informative, and it helped. It solved my problem, and so I shared it with my audience, and that's how we met. And I just think that you guys do awesome work. So I'm really excited that we're collabing today, and we had the idea to create a video with your guys' expertise and knowledge to gather some tips that would be especially helpful to moms or people in that phase of life. So I'm really excited for this video, and I know it's going to help a lot of people. And I'm just so excited to be working with you guys on this. Thank you.
We're just as excited.
Yes.
And Eva's blog is fabulous. It's happilyevaafter.com.
Yeah.
She also has a wonderful Instagram at Happily Eva After. We're going to drop links to those in the description section. We'll also throw up a card up there. So Make sure to check out her stuff. It's really well written. The website is actually very beautiful, and
Thank you.
It's really a great place. So what we're going to talk about today is family sharing, because as technology has progressed, it's become easier and easier for parents to keep track of what their kids are doing. And Apple, I think, has done a really good job of keeping up with the internet, because the internet presents all sorts of problems for parents. When I was at the Apple store, parents would come in with $200, $300, $500 bills because their kids had bought $500 of gems in Clash of Clans, and they'd say, what the heck do I do about this? But now there's a feature that allows parents to have to give permission to their kids to buy certain things. It used to be that parents couldn't create Apple IDs for kids that were under the age of 13, and we would have to encourage them to lie about their age in the Apple store. We no longer have to do that, and now parents just have a lot more control in an unsafe world over what their kids are able to do. Yep. So we're thrilled to be able to work with you and show parents how they can see what their kids are doing, make sure they get to band practice on time with Share My Location, and do all the other wonderful things that family sharing can do.
That's awesome. I'm excited. And I'm excited to learn from this too.
So let's talk about family sharing. There are really 4 main sections of family sharing. We'll go point by point. The first one is the ability to share purchases with your whole family.
And families can save a lot of money by doing this. They can share not only apps that they buy in the App Store, but also subscriptions like to Apple News and Apple Arcade, which is new, and Apple TV Plus, which is coming out, and Apple Music.
Yeah, it's interesting. I recently sort of discovered the benefits of this because I had downloaded, one of these like calming meditation app things for myself, but also, I've used it a couple times. They have specific ones for kids that are geared towards kids. And it's really nice because now I see it show up on our TV. It shows up on the iPad that my kids use, and it enables sort of us to all have access to it. And obviously I only bought it one time. So that's really nice and really beneficial for us. And I'm sure I'm underutilizing the benefits of it. So I'm excited to kind of delve deeper into this and hear more about it.
And this section also gives you the ability to hide certain apps. So if you're planning a trip to Disney World, right, and you install the Disney app or whatever it is to plan your trip, and you don't want your kids to know about it, you can hide that app, and then it can be an actual surprise.
The next main point, and one of the things that family sharing can do, one of my favorite features is that it can see where your family members are using the Find My app. Used to be Find My Friends and Find My iPhone, and then they combined the apps in iOS 13, and now it's just the Find My app. This works for family members and even for finding devices if they're lost in the couch. This is really where I lose my device. Usually it's just somewhere at home. So being able to ping that anywhere and to see where your kids are at any time of the day must be reassuring for parents.
Right. No, that's amazing. Yeah, my daughter started taking the bus this year. So she doesn't have a phone yet, but I can imagine, because she's 5. Yeah. But when she does eventually, I'm sure that'll be a really nice way just to make sure that they can get a certain amount of independence, but also, it's a crazy world out there. It's nice to know, nice to keep a little eye on them.
And that's one of the ways that technology is really great. With all the stuff that's out there that is negative about technology, right, there are so many great features, and especially for people with kids, this has really come a long way.
And I lose my phone all the time. I lose it all the time. I use that feature, the Find My iPhone, or what it used to be Find My iPhone. I use that all the time, and I especially love how it makes a noise. Yep. You really can't find it. Yep. so that you can, eventually find it. Yeah.
I used it this morning, and it was in my back pocket. So that's about where I
was holding my son, and I was running around. It was at a party, and I said to my husband, "Where's Major? Where did he go?" And that was crazy. He was like, "You're holding him." Wow, I need to nap immediately.
Yeah.
Creepy version of that with the iPhone, which I guess we'll hear about now.
The next feature that we want to talk about is the ability to share pictures with a shared photo album, and to set calendar events with a shared family calendar, and also reminders. So you could do this with your partner. You can also do it with your kids, just so that they know that they're going to get picked up at a certain time. Right. I'm sure that there's a lot of great uses for this too.
This is the one that I really love. I think tips like this helps reframe this concept of how we view our kids and technology. I think a lot of people now are really, really scared of how much access to technology kids have, or how much it's taking them away. But I think when you look at tips and benefits like this, you can see that there are ways that having access to technology, especially for a bit older kids who obviously have phones and their lives are more complex, that it can actually help them be a more integrated part of the family without feeling like you have to nag them or tell them or be on top of them, that you can set, plans and reminders in motion that enable them to have autonomy without you having to be nagging them all the time and to be that bad cop that I don't think any parent loves to be. So I think that this is a really nice way of looking at the positives of technology and how it can help us stay more organized as a family and, use our time together more efficiently.
Absolutely. And that's a really good transition into the next point, which is about content and privacy restrictions.
Screen time, the parental controls of your iPhone, essentially.
And one of the most important parts of that, and I never thought of it, it just creates a real clear idea in the children's minds, I think, about when they're allowed to use their iPhone. There's a new feature called downtime. So you can go into screen time and say, I want my kid to be able to use their phone, but not from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., which I think is the default. So parents can kids have it, they know what the expectation is, and they know that that's the deal.
Yeah, it sets boundaries, which is really good. And, I think that is something, the screen time app, and app, right? Or part of your...
It's part of the settings app, but yeah.
So when that came out not too long ago, but that's just the version that I've used, that really helped me because I do use my phone for work a lot. Primarily, what I use it for, and it's a really integral part of my job as well. So I do have to be on it a certain amount, but that really helped me set a boundary for myself and see it kind of on paper and get a sense of, how much time am I really spending here? Can I cut this down? How much of this is superfluous, and really holding myself accountable as well. So I think that it's not only good for, kids and families, but it's also good for the individual just to get a sense of, is this number something I'm comfortable with? Or is this surprising to me, how much I'm on the phone? And then being able to set those boundaries for yourself within the Screen Time app as well is, I think that's great for everyone, personally.
Me too. I was blown away when I opened the Screen Time app for the first time and saw that I had used the Messages app for 45 minutes.
A lot.
Yeah.
And it was about 5 p.m. and I was thinking to myself, how did I possibly do this? And just sort of being more cognizant of how I'm spending my time on my phone.
Right. Yeah. It's like the equivalent of, the TV dinner, right? It's like when you're eating and doing something else, you're not paying attention to what you're eating. And that's why people say don't do that, right? It's the same thing. That's nutrition. This is of the mind, obviously, but it's the same idea. Is like, I think the more aware we are, the more beneficial it is. It doesn't mean you can't be doing it, but it's just good to be doing it purposefully and not mindlessly.
Yes, it is. I really think that these new features in Screen Time are going to help people, as you said, to focus on setting those limits. Because if we set the limits, then we're going to be able to get more out of the time that we do use our iPhones. And it structures some time with the family and with our friends, and can keep an eye on just how long I was spending, which is big. And another piece of this part of Screen Time is the content and privacy restrictions. Apple has done a really good job of limiting the websites that children can visit. And so you have the option to either allow all websites, limit adult websites, or only allow certain websites. So if a child is very young, a parent can go in and say, I only want them to be able to go to the Disney website and Nickelodeon, and just shut off everything else until they're ready to be exposed to the world of the internet.
So interesting. Yeah. Okay. Good. Remind me of this in 10 years.
Yeah, we absolutely will.
Yeah.
Well, our phones will be like in our palm of our hand, embedded or something by then.
Right, and we'll just know exactly where everyone is.
Perfect.
All the time. iPhones came out in 2007, so 12 years ago. I can't imagine what it's going to look like in another 12 years. I guess if we did.
It will be in our body at that point somehow. It'll be like a contact lens and like an implant, a cochlear implant or something. Not, but that's like my prediction, I guess.
You heard it here first. That could be actually what happens.
If I'm right.
Yeah.
If I'm right.
It's on record. Yeah. That, I think, is a pretty good overview of everything that moms and parents can do with the family sharing section. This, again, is Eva Amurri Martino joining us from lifestyle and motherhood blog happilyevaafter.com, which is a fabulous website, and we recommend all parents and really everybody check it out because it's full of interesting articles, and you're an excellent writer.
I have a lot of ads. I have a lot of men on my site,
awesome.
Funnily enough.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
I found it to be very interesting.
Yeah, me too.
And it's really cool. And we have a lot of dads that watch our channel. We know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can't thank you enough for joining us today and talking about all the things that moms and parents can do to keep track of what their kids are using their technology to do, and just live a healthier life when it comes to their relationship with technology.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This is so helpful. I can't wait to watch more of your videos. Keep them coming. And I'm really excited to intro my audience even more to you guys.
Yep. And same to you.
Yes.
Well, have a great day, guys.
Yep. You too. Bye-bye.